As she said, I'm Dr. Gary Berman, and my wife Maggie is sitting right there. She and I met over in the chiropractic center in Dallas that we call the Healing Zone. It's not far from here. Now, by licensing degree, I'm a doctor of physics and a doctor of chiropractic. I study natural remedies now for about 25 years. Without question, my best ability is the fact I'm a mystic, and I perfected, developed, and practice the technique every day that I call medical mysticism. Now, that's led me to create a brand new idea that I call environmental synchronization. So the purpose of my talk is threefold. Number one, I'm going to define what I mean by the word medical mysticism and also mysticism. I'll define also, number two, what I mean by the word environmental synchronization. And number three, I hope I have enough time to give every one of you a very simple method that will optimize your ability to manifest. Because if I could change the title of this talk, I would call it Manifesting at the Highest Level. Now, I'm searching for truth constantly. So I was reading some information in Newsweek that said that every third person in this country is either incredibly beautiful or remarkably handsome. And they're intelligent boots. Now, this looks like a good group of people. Now, we're going to find these candidates, okay? And I need your help. So what I'm going to ask you to do is this. I want you to look over your right shoulder, and take a good look at them. I mean, you look at them real good. I mean, look at them real good. So go ahead, take a look at them. Just look at them. Look at your right shoulder. There you go. All right. Now, look at the person over your left shoulder. Take a look at the person over the left shoulder. Over your left, now over your left. There you go. Okay. Now, here's the good news. Neither are bad. I want to start out with a little bit of humor. We're going to emphasize how important everyone in this room really is. See, the purpose of everything I'm doing is to try to help all of you understand that every one of you was born to create a very powerful destiny. But every one of you was born to have a fantastic life. And I believe that whatever you call God, and you created this opportunity before you were born, and then this opportunity was placed in your body together with the Spirit, and it was placed in a specific spot in your body, and if we will for a moment, let's find that spot, because I want to make sure we understand where that is. You take the index finger of your right hand and put it in your navel. Go ahead, no one's looking. Now, you take the flat of your left hand and put it right under there. The place where the flat of your left hand is, right under this finger, is where I believe all this information lies. I believe this is where the Spirit lies, right here. And if you can be trained, which all of you can be, into understanding that all of your truth comes from this spot, the accuracy in this area is absolutely astounding. It's far above 90% accurate. Now you might say to me, well, Dr. Berman, that sounds good for you. Maybe you've got certain maybe you can do these things. But what about me? Maybe this is the first time I've heard these things. Maybe I didn't even believe these things up until now. And maybe I've tried these things and none of them have worked. What about me? Well, you might also say, I'm even pushing it further because I'm talking about invisible deities creating speculative plants and putting them into vague areas of my body. So when you take that into consideration, how in the world am I supposed to be able to do this? Well, the answer is pretty simple. You see, if you think of yourself like this spore, just inert like this spore, it's a solid three-dimensional object, you are exactly correct. Not one of us could ever communicate with the spirit of this energy. Not one of us. But if we go to quantum mechanics and we look at advanced physics, we can understand exactly how to do this. Because we, all of us in this room, are more like this light system right there. We're more like a solid object emitting a powerful beam of light, and we're emitting these energies all the time. According to quantum mechanics, this is how we really are. We're spiritual beings housed in a physical body. And this spiritual energy, if you will, is intelligent. It was created at the time of conception. We call it vital energy. This vital energy flows through our body. Time of conception. When the egg and the sperm united, this energy created everything in your body that you have made in my hands. It created everything in my hands and my feet. It made every cellular structure, every organ, every hormone, everything in my body was created by this energy. This energy, even when we're adults, only a small part of it actually goes into keeping us alive. The rest of it actually is your cosmic servant. It wants to help you. It's highly intelligent. It's under your conscious and subconscious mind. And you can direct it any way you want to. And you can send it out into space, just like I'm talking to you, sending my voice out into space in your ear. You send it out into space, and it kind of looks like this. They pass this around, and you kind of take a look at it. But can everyone kind of see that we're looking at a body, or looking at waves, like different, like bigger parts of me just moving out into space? Can everyone see it? Just pass that around. So we have this vital energy that's under our control, and this vital energy, if we direct it with our conscious and subconscious mind, it brings everything to us. Everything good, as well as everything bad, comes from our subconscious and conscious mind working with this energy and pulling things to you. So no matter what you're experiencing in your life, we can say that it's a reflection of what you're thinking right now, working with this energy. And when we direct it to get the answers that we want, let's suppose we have a situation we need answers from. Tell it. To tell it. To go to the spirit, to go to this area of information. We'll literally go there and bring up into your conscious mind the answers. That's what you need to do. And every one of you can do this.
Say it one more time.
About what is it? Okay, basically, if you're questioning something, let's say it's an important circumstance, and you're not sure what to do, remember, you were born to have a specific plan for your life. The plan that said, I believe it's here. This vital energy is your servant. So all you have to do is direct it with your mind as though it's going down here and communicating with this energy. And it will literally go down there and bring to your conscious awareness the answers. No matter what the question is, it could be over trust issues, it could be over moving, it could be over a partner, it could be over any situation. No matter what questions you have, it will answer them on any situation. You were born to succeed, and you were born to have a fantastic life. And that's the only reason why it's there, in my belief system, as it sounds so far. It's a learned skill. You learn it like anything else. Just like learning to tie your shoes, riding a bicycle, you learn it. My wife and I go around the country, and we teach people how to do this. Yeah, people can do this. Now, as I said, I'm constantly searching for truth. So I've evaluated many cases. I want to find out why do people get sick, more importantly, how do they get well? And from that analysis, I came up with a concept in one of my dreams about environmental synchronization. Explain this. Environmental synchronization looks like this. It's a very simple model when you look at it. Now, if you can see this, can everyone see if I hold it up here? Okay. It's a very simple model. At the top of the model are positive results in your life. Now, when I talk about positive results, I'm not saying that these are things that you would like to have. I'm talking about things that you must have. You have to have these things, no matter what. These things will stir you. You live for these things. They come out of your body. They make you who you are. These are not lukewarm results I'm talking about. I'm talking about the things you really want in your life. Why do you think people get sick? Why do you think people have financial reversals? And why do you think there's so much depression in the world? Why? Is it the germ theory? Okay? Are we not getting enough nutrients? Or is it that we're not getting enough of the things we want in our life? That we're not holding ourselves accountable for the things we really were born to do. And if we constantly are violating the things we were born to do, and we're not having a stimulating, thrilling life, what type of messages do you think you're sending to yourself? About life, healing, prosperity? What do you think you're sending to yourself? Good. That's right. Good. Very good. Anything else?
Life is boring.
Life is boring. You got it. And the problem is that once we send that long enough, every one of these layers will start to fail. You know how I know this? Because of me. I was in a group where I didn't have much success for living. 28 years ago, I was in medical school. I was 8 months in my medical school training. I was at the University of Iowa Medical School. I got very sick. And I was told by 4 MDs I had less than 3 years to live. And I realized at that point, the only way I could possibly ever get well, because 28 years ago, none of this was available. Because if you didn't took a vitamin pill 28 years ago, you were thought to be crazy. Right? There were almost no books on the subject. Right? But I had to start doing a lot of thinking to figure out, why did I get so sick? And I realized I got so sick because, number one, I violated biology. I had a terrible diet. I didn't take care of myself. And now I realize we're going far beyond biology according to this model. In my model of environmental synchronization, we're not talking just about water. We're not talking about diet. We're not talking about exercise. We're not talking about air. We're talking about digestion and elimination. Because if you can't digest your food and you can't eliminate it, guess what? You're going to get sick. And the problem is in this country, we see that by the time we're in our 20s, we're saturated with mucus and we have encrusted fecal matter, and our bodies aren't functioning properly, and we're aging too rapidly. This is all coming from my discussion of environmental synchronization. And so first thing on the list is find someone who can work with you to help you understand that your organs of digestion. What are the organs of digestion? Our mouth, the oral cavity, right? Stomach, spleen and pancreas, right? And then small intestine, organs of digestion, organs of elimination, large intestine, right? The KLE system, kidney lymphatic bladder system. Also, we have organs of respiration. We also have the skin. So we've got a lot of systems there that need to be well regulated, and you need to look at this carefully to make sure that your biology stays strong. So find someone and find a method that will work with you, that will help you get strong, whatever it is. But don't just assume it's actually diet or exercise or water or food. You may need supplementation. Because, hey, think about it. If the engine starts burning oil, it's too late to change the oil in the car. Okay? You have to go in and rebuild. So you've got to be careful. Okay? There's find people that you can work with. So let's assume now you could create strong biology, which we can all do. Strong biology creates strong emotions. I violated this one too 28 years ago. Guess what? I was living in intense fear constantly. There are only two emotions. One is love, and the other is fear. I got a third one down as an intermediary, and I'll call it trust. But basically, there's only fear and there's only love. I was living with intense fear. I was living other people's dreams. Now, you realize when we look under fear, there are three forms of fear. Here's one form: I can't or I won't. That's one form. Here's a second form of fear: I must or I should. And here's a third form: I can't, but I should. Or I won't, but I must. And that's the worst. Okay, I was in the worst. And if I'm not careful, I can still go. So I'm asking you, think about this carefully, and also think about this too. How much fear is out there now? Look at our newspapers, our radio, our TV. Look at everything they're telling us right now. Look at most of our friends, and look at our family members, most of them. Most people are living in fear right now, aren't they? Right? Now you can ask me, well, how am I supposed to get out of fear and go to love? That's a darn good question, right? It's the age-old question of the universe. You know the only way I know to do that? Go back to your results. I wanted to live. They were my results. I didn't want to die. And I would do anything at that time to live. So I didn't care what I had to do to change myself. That changed me out of fear into love. I had to learn how to love myself. And the only way I suggest anyone can love themselves is to get a dream. And you've got to want something so much that it will literally overwhelm the fear. Does that make sense? And if you can do that, you've got the first two layers lit. Now we come to fields. We come to fields, right there. Now, I'm talking to you as a physicist. Fields represent actions at a distance. They're an energy that interacts with something else. Here's an example. Remember using magnets? Yeah. Remember when you took magnets and you had North Pole and North Pole and you tried to put them together? Remember that you had? Remember? Or if you took North Pole to South Pole, they attracted. Remember that? Okay. What was between the two magnets is a field. It's an energy that does something. Okay? Now, every one of you creates very powerful energies every day. Did you ever walk into a room and did you ever see someone like at a party and they were just like on fire? They were like illuminated. Like you couldn't take your eyes off of them. Did you ever have to experience that? Did you ever see that? Okay. Let's see. Well, guess what was happening? These people probably had pretty good and strong biology. They probably had pretty strong emotions. They knew what they wanted. And they were just exuding this energy out of their body. And guess what? You respond to that. You respond to that. And that energy, if you direct it, for example, if you want something to happen to you, like getting a job or doing something like this, all you have to do is see that energy going to whomever you're going to be working with, or some company, whatever it is, and send it out, and that energy is intelligent, and it will start working on your behalf to do things for you. What do you think about that? Sounds pretty good? You realize we're given a pair of legs, but those pairs of legs that we have only work for a short distance. These energies go around the world. They literally go into other universes, they go into change space and time, they change the course of history, these energies. And they are far, far beyond anything physical that we can do. And everyone can do this. Everyone can do this. But how many people are talking to you about understanding this and then doing it? How many? Not too many? Good. Excellent. Good. Keep finding the people that are talking to you about this. Let me ask you this. Why do you think this information generally has been suppressed for so many thousands of years? Why? Okay. I'll address that in a few minutes. That's a good idea. Keep you in fear. Keep you in fear. Thank you very much. And another word for fear is control. Control. So what do you think their methods are trying to do? Why do you think almost all governments, almost all religions, almost all medical institutions, why do you think very few of them talk to you about you being a powerful, independent person? Why? It's control. And money and all these other things. Okay? But I found that the only way my patients can ever get well is for them to accept the challenge of finding a destiny, something that's bigger than their problems. And once they can do that, I can show them methods and techniques that will help them. I think go a little further. Let's go to the last part of this. Spirit. Spirit. You see, strong biology leads to very strong emotions. Love. Love leads to, the combination of the two, leads to strong feelings. Strong feelings. We said these fields can go out into the world and do anything you want them to do. But the last key is your belief systems about whatever you call God, universal energy. I don't care what you call it. But I found that every person, I examined over 400 cases of people that were terminally ill, people that lost all their money, or people that were chronically depressed. These people had almost no hope of recovery, and yet 400 of these people did. They recovered. And every one of them, even if they describe themselves as atheists, had to believe in something that was beyond them. I call it spirit. And that's the last tumbler in your lock mechanism. These are like tumblers in a lock. The things that you want, the results are like the key. But your God has to be big enough. If your God is based on jealousy, or retribution, or oppression, or anything like this, or any of the old things that I learned myself, I guarantee you that God is not big enough to allow you to manifest the things you really want. So I would ask you to think about that very carefully. Okay? Now, all this feeds back on itself. Positive results, the things you have to have. Once you start creating this mechanism, you achieve them. You will achieve them. And then they start feeding back into the bottom of this triangle. And you start feeding back good results, feed back to create better results. And better results feed back into creating great results, right? But negative results can also feed back in this mechanism. And that's why negative results tend to encourage more negative results according to this model. This model explains everything we know about health, nutrition, about everything that happens to us as human beings is in this model. And it's so darn simple, it's amazing. But yet the information that's buried in here is incredible. And I'm building right now, on every one of these levels, a mechanism to help people do this. And that's where I'm going right now. And remember I said that I wanted to present to you a very simple way of manifesting, right? And I don't care what it is you want, because God's not going to limit you. You are allowed to ask for anything that you want, because God is not going to stop you. As long as it doesn't violate your spirit, doesn't violate the emotions of love, you can ask for anything you want. Now let me give you a little trick that East Germans used. When East Germany was a country, they won more Olympic gold medals than any country in the world. And this is documented. For over 35 years, they did this. And they used mind techniques that were so powerful that we ignored them in the West because we thought they couldn't be that simple. We thought they used illegal steroids and drugs. Here it is. It's called the 50 to 1 countdown. The 50 to 1 countdown. Okay? And it goes like this. You have to focus on something you must have. For them, it was easy. Win the Olympic gold medal. That was it. For you, anything you want. It's got to stir you. It's got to be thrilling. It's got to be bigger than you. Then you have to create the emotions that are necessary for you to achieve those goals. They're based on love. I don't care what they are, but those emotions have to be so thrilling they can literally raise the hair on your body. That's what I'm talking about. Now, when you get that, and I don't care how long it takes you to find this out, then you start with number 50. And you take a deep breath in, 50, you let it out, you relax. You go to number 49, do the same thing, deep breath in, let it out, relax. You repeat that process all the way down to the number 1. Now, the number 1, you keep saying number 1, number 1, number 1. Every time you say number 1, deep breath in, let it out. And you focus now at number 1 on the positive result and the positive emotion you must have. Believe me, you can do this technique, you'll be so relaxed, you'll be in such an incredible self-hypnotic state, you can begin to manifest things incredibly fast. Incredibly fast. I'm training my patients right now in doing these things because it's working for me. I had a situation where one night, I was at home, it was Sunday night, I had to contact one of my patients, I hadn't seen her in 6 months. I knew she was out of the country. So I got into this technique for 15 minutes, and I started sending this information out to her, come to the healing zone, come to the healing zone. And I sent it out around the world. This was Sunday night, 15 minutes. Monday morning, I do the same thing. Come to the healing zone, come to the healing zone, 15 minutes. Go into the office, start working, about 11 o'clock in the morning. It's like a celestial thing was on my shoulder. I excuse myself, I go running to the front of the office. There's my patient. There's my patient. He screams my name. She says, Gary, what are you doing? She's going like, all I can hear is like, come to the healing zone, come to the healing zone. She flies into town. The night that I'm doing this, she flies into town. And there she is. I'm telling you, this stuff works. And it's incredible. Okay, start number 50. Take a deep breath in, let it out. Go to 49.
We're not thinking that. We're just trying to do it.
No, we're just relaxed. Deep state of relaxing. So deep breath in, let it out, relax. 49, deep breath in, let it out, relax. Okay, continue that process. Get down to number 1. Number 1, just number 1, but number 1, deep breath in, let it out, relax. Okay, then focus in on the positive results that you want, the things you've got to have. And the emotions you must have with those things too, and they should stir you. And they should stir you. And I guarantee if you'll do this, just like the East Germans did, you will win your events. You will manifest at a very high level. So let me make sure we end this properly. Let me just summarize. Number 1, I believe that every one of you is born to have a fantastic life. And that is you've got to the right to do it. You're born to be prosperous and happy too. Imagine that. Number 2, that with the use of these energies, you can do anything you think about. Anything. There are no limits to how far you can go with this, provided it doesn't violate your concept of spirit, it doesn't violate your emotional center, and it's that form of unbelievable. And number 3, if you use this concept of environmental synchronization, you can follow a simple routine and follow these steps in the order that I presented, and understand these simple models. You will manifest anything you truly want in your life. It's already working for several of my patients. And the last part of this, all of you are fantastic human beings. You were born to have a great life. I keep saying this. I'll keep saying this and keep saying this. I'm just asking you that. See? I'm very appreciative of all of you being here. In fact, thank you very much. But never forget how important you are. If you follow simple models, you will actually understand and achieve what you've really worked for. So thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, do you have any questions? Please.
When you put it in your tummy, how come you put a negative word there? I like the word here.
That's fear.
Oh, no, fear.
Oh, fear?
Yes.
Because the problem is that most people
When it's love, when it's trust, you know.
Right. The problem is that most of us are exposed to too much fear. So I just want people to understand at the emotional level that either one of those two things could creep in. That either one of those two things could creep in. But if the biology is strong, it will tend more to create love. Okay, but remember, this model works for positive ideas, positive results, as well as negative results. The negative results will work through this too. This explains everything. That's why I did it. That's why I did it. Any other questions? Any other questions?
You're writing a book.
I haven't finished it yet. This is only 3 months old, Jay. So I'll get it. So, any other questions? Anything else?
Emotions, you get to hear what the other thing.
Okay, you need positive results.